Hey everyone, it's Matthew here at Earthworks Gardens. I want to talk to you about a new plant that's going to be coming in this spring. Every year I try to experiment a little bit, try to push the boundaries of what we can grow here in Northeast Florida and just try something different, and if it will survive during our winter time here in Jacksonville, then I will bring a few in the spring for all of you to be introduced to. So I want to introduce you to a very interesting tree. It's different than I think what most of you have seen growing here in Northeast Florida, which is why I wanted to bring it in and give it a try this year. It's called the Mast Tree. That's M-A-S-T, like the mast of a ship. And the reason why they call it that is because it's very tall and very slender. So it's going to be a really interesting plant for those of you living in the intercoastal area, the beaches, also near the river. And the reason why I mentioned those three areas is because we have microclimates that are a little bit warmer than average. It is slightly frost sensitive. Now, with that said, we've had I think 5 or 6 frosts since I brought this in earlier this winter. I brought it in toward the end of fall, beginning of winter, and I wanted it to grow here and to experience the normal cold weather that we have here. We're in the zip code 32246 on the corner of Beach and Kernan. So we're not in the coldest part of town, but we do get frosts, we do get freezes here, and I want to see what this bad boy can do during the winter. Now, we're gonna get some close-ups on this. You'll see I have some slight, a little bit of damage. We had a little bit of browning on some of the leaves, but overall the tree is doing very well, and it has survived the frost and some of the freezes that we've had already this year. Now, the great thing about this tree is that we don't have a whole lot of options when it comes to tall, columnar trees that are narrow, that don't get real wide. This is going to be a great option. So in the past, we've used the juniper Brody, which we're still using. And there's also the Italian cypress, which we've kind of moved away from. Those two trees were the most common tall columnar trees that were used here in the southeast. We moved away from the Italian cypress because it was having problems with fungal disease, and we moved toward the Brody juniper, which has been performing really well, and it's still a really good option in the garden for a formal look. Now, this is going to be another tall, slender tree, but with a little bit less formal look, going and leaning a little bit more toward tropical landscape designs, and a little less formal than the juniper type look and the evergreens that you see in that style of plant. So this will be great as a standalone focal point. It could also flank the sides of homes. You can use them in rows. You can use them as screening. If you plant them tightly together, they can make a nice backdrop with a garden in front of it, or just to block or obscure some views that you don't want to see on the other side of the property line. This is a nice tall tree that can get upwards of 30 feet over time. They're not incredibly fast growing. They could also be top pruned to control their overall height as well. The only thing that these trees don't like are extreme cold and extreme wet feet. So again, this is going to be a plant that you're going to plant somewhere where it's not holding water, where it's not staying wet for long periods of time. You want the water to be free draining and moving away from the plant quickly. So low areas would not be great, or if you were able to build up an area and plant this so that the water drained away for it, it'd be a perfect spot. It does love the heat that we have here in Northeast Florida. So plenty of heat, plenty of sunshine, and this new introduction, the Mast Tree, I think will be a great selection if you got the right spot for it. Thanks a lot, everyone. We'll see you next time.